Call the Honourable Maurice Williamson.
Mr Speaker, I only intend to take a reasonably brief call on this bill at this point because this bill will get a lot of debate when we go to the Committee of the Whole House, and I know there'll be a lot of amendments flying around. So because I'm going to take a brief call, I'm going to just restrict my speech to just the big heading issue, sir, under the heading of balance. Everything in life has a risk associated with it, sir, when we drive on the roads in our cars, when we fly on the planes tonight when there's Parliament lifts, when we go sailing in a boat. There are deaths every year from those activities. And the government always tries to regulate and legislate those activities to try to minimise the deaths. Now, sir, I was Minister of Transport for a number of years, and I know I could have brought the road toll to zero by just making the speed limit 5 kilometres per hour and only have self-laying track armour-plated vehicles. The economy would have been bankrupt within a day. It wouldn't have worked, but I could have held my hand on my heart and said, we've had no deaths. And so why am I saying it? Because it's about balance. We think now that the road toll we have, with the laws that we have and the vehicle standards and the road warrant of fitness testing we have, is about right. We're trying to improve it every year. We're trying to reduce the number of deaths, but in the end, people will die on our roads. And many of them will actually have been in the workforce at the time of that. And we're trying to reduce aircraft accidents. If you wanted to reduce anybody dying in aeroplanes ever, you just ban flying. But of course, again, not a sensible extreme view. So what this legislation has tried to do, and I'm the first to admit, if Labor Party want to have an evil demon beast over there that they can stick to skewering, put my name on that, because I was uncomfortable with this bill as introduced, as not having the right balance point. I wanted to see some more balance in it. That doesn't mean to say I'm in support of people being killed in the workplace. I want to try and reduce deaths as much as we can in the workplace. There isn't a single member in this parliament who doesn't want that. For God's sake, please get one person to stand up and say, I'm happy for more people to be killed in the workplace, because no one does. But what we want is a balance. What we want is legislation that says this is not a ridiculous self-laying track 5 kilometre per hour. This is not a banning aeroplanes from flying altogether so we have no aviation deaths. This is about making sure that employers have some obligations, but they're not ridiculous and they're not extreme. And those obligations are to provide the best possible safety in the workplace conditions they can. That does not mean that even after this bill or the bill as introduced or any other legislation in this place was ever passed, that there won't be deaths in the workplace. There will be. Just like there'll be deaths on the road, just like there'll be an airplane crash within the next few years, just like there'll be some more drownings before the end of this year. And I'm delighted that the government took some time, backed the truck up a little bit, had a look at this legislation again, and brought it back to the Select Committee some changes which I think get us closer to that balance point. And that's what this legislation is about, making sure we make the workplace safe, but doing it in a balanced way so that we don't have ridiculous extremes at either ends, where we're just not cutting off people's hands and arms and legs at willy-nilly, because we don't want that, or we're making it so onerous for people to stay in business that it's not economic anymore, and they finally say it'd be better to sell up my business and go and invest in the Auckland property market. And that's what we've done with this bill today, sir.
The next call is a split call. Catherine Delahunty. A point of order. Ron Mark.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I have taken your advice, Mr Speaker. I have gone to the record and pulled down the Hansard for the day in question regarding the point of order I raised earlier. There is no mention of the comment from the Speaker saying, shut up Winston, in the Hansard at all, contrary to what you thought might be. I'm going to ask again for leave of the House to table the transcript from the